Hello, my name is Dominic Underhallhouse and welcome to another episode of Moonbreaker. In today's episode we're going to be trying to get a game in the Play the Devs event. There's a whole bunch of devs playing live at the moment, but we're also playing on the experimental server, so we get to see a whole bunch of the new features and just see how they work. I'm going to do this quickly because there's not much longer left on the event, so I'm just going to do a very quick intro. I've made a new roster here, we've got, you can see, new graphics as well. So we've gone for early game, we've got Fixer, Deadeye's now a 2-drop, Beatrice, Jailbreak, Axel's a nice sort of cheap interaction there, Blindsider Esley, Turian Guardian, Cloaker Tozy, who's a new unit that basically makes things untargetable in an area around them, so they can be targeted but other things can't. Doesn't really fit in the list, but I wanted to give it a try. Flurry and Shrapnel. So we're going to just take this straight into a game and try out the brand new ranked play. So here we are, we've got rankings, we've got a leaderboard which you can have a look at as well. Obviously I'm nowhere near this whatsoever, but it's the fact that we can actually play a ranked mode, get some sort of tiers going. I'm really keen to try that out. So for now, hopefully we're going to be finding a game very shortly. We'll test it out, see if it's one of the developers, and hopefully have a lot of fun. And I'll see you once we're back in the game. Okay, we found a game. We're actually playing against Grissy, one of the developers. Points for victory plus 20, points for defeat 0. So I'm imagining that'll be the rank system. Interestingly, I can see here in the corners we've got the old rarity symbols, which are probably now for rankings. Those definitely need a resolution update, but this is the experimental server. So many things are different on this, and this is to give you guys an idea of what the future of Moonbreaker could look like. So if you do enjoy this, make sure you do like, comment, subscribe, join us over on Patreon. Anything you can do is really appreciated. The channel's been growing fantastically recently, and with all of these changes coming to the future of Moonbreaker, I'm really excited to see what the channel can do as well and see, how much more we can develop. So, then one of the biggest changes on this is what I've called instant activations, or the dazed system, where units can now move and act immediately. So it's a huge difference. It's very much a sort of, how to describe it? It's a very much a changed pace game. Everything goes at a significantly different rate, but you can do some very interesting things. For instance, if we popped Deadeye down over here, everything that comes down has got reduced movement speed. But if we pop Deadeye down now, we can just take this shot, 75%. We might as well use our Ozos here. Take the shot. We're not actually going to use our other abilities to gain sort of heals and things, because sorry, to get accuracy debuff. The only thing they might reasonably be able to hit is Deadeye anyway, so we might as well just pop that on there. You'll also notice that the way the victory points look now is this is like a tug of war system. So once you fill up all of your sides and then score a point, you then win the game on the spot. You get 1 point for controlling an objective, and it's on or off. You either control it and you get the bonus, or you lose it and you don't. So they've controlled that. They should be getting an extra point for it. And there we go, so Snarling is now just damaging one of my units. And they've gone for Stitchy McPatchy as a follow-up. So this is actually really intimidating. You're like, this is a lot to come out of their units here. So, first question is, Axel Pyro, so we can't play it yet, but deals 2 damage and burns again now. Okay. So the question is, how far can we play Beatrice? Because if we can play Beatrice far up, this could be good for us. However, we would also be running into damage in this direction. So I think this is what we want to try and deal with. Here we go. We took the shot up there. We can move here, and the question is, can we play Beatrice far enough that she'll be able to get an attack in? I'm not entirely sure. This may be a situation for things like Broken Vengeance if we could do. But I'm going to try and see if Beatrice's move speed is enough to get an angle onto both of these. It looks like it is, so we should be able to take off the shield off of that as well. And we'll chip away at that. And at this point we might as well assign Dardo there. And so we'll be slightly out of range, but let's just take some damage off Exterior. Heal. Howl doesn't do anything right now. We should deploy Majan to make things a little bit tankier in... Let's go here. Make ourselves a little bit harder to deal with. And we've already got the heals in the right spot, so we'll just leave that here. Let's see how we do. So they've got 1 point lead. You now gain points for killing enemy crew as well. So Snarling's actually going to be an issue, because Snarling can keep our units in place, but what we're going to want to do is take out Sevria so that we can take out Snarling without having to get through this damage buff again. Also, this is the dazed animation up here above people's heads. There is currently a bug where this lasts a little bit longer, so don't worry too much. Okay, so that was a huge swing coming out there from Grissy. That's a ton of damage coming out from 3 and the 1 from there as well, so we're going to struggle. I'm not sure what our best option is here, because we need to get 2 lots of damage onto Sevria, and it's very unlikely we can do so, so I think we've been outplayed here immediately. And I'm not really sure what we do. I feel like it's probably an Axel Pyro situation. If we can deal with Axel Pyro over here, that might work. So we've taken a bunch of damage on Toltecan, but Toltecan probably just comes up here and then revives. So what do we do? I think Axel Pyro has to be one of the first options, but because Toltecan can't reach. So let's go with Pyro first. See if we can just take a little bit out of these. Is that really not in range of... Oh, maybe it's just going to take the shield out. Yeah, we're not moving anymore with the flamer. So that was something that Charlie mentioned, that they weren't sure if that was still happening anymore, which is very interesting. However, we'll just come and try and poke this. And we'll just keep going over here. I think we actually might lose next turn. So that's going to be resurrecting anyway. I think we need to be focusing more in this direction. So if we move right up close and just deploy Majan right on the centre of us, we stop this being quite as quick of a turn away. If they can kill 2 of our crew here... Oh! I thought this didn't trigger at the beginning of turns. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was just you activate it to gain it and then leave it, so that's actually a huge mistake. If they can just kill 1 of our units, we lose the game here. So this is a really big deal, because they can actually deal lots and lots of damage. They can probably kill Beatrice and that just ends the game. Okay, so they've got this, but there's no guarantee that Tipu will hit. Oh. How come Tipu's hitting? Why is it 100%? We've got an obscuring area over the top of us. Okay, well that should definitely have gone on Axel Pyro then. Because if Grissy had taken Axel Pyro, Axel could beat us. I'm going to say I've got the feeling Grissy's being kind to me, because I'm not as familiar with this. Grissy is absolutely going to want to show this off in the best light. Personally, I'm okay with losing miserably if I deserve it, but I can understand why some people might be less keen to. So, we didn't bring in Toxoid, which is obviously a very powerful unit in this format. This might be a turn for Cloakatozy and seeing if we can just delay things by a little bit longer than we otherwise would. So the question is, can we get anywhere that is safe? So, I forgot I was supposed to stay in range for that. That was the entire point of what we were doing before. So we're very much trapped in here, so we're going to have to try and do something drastic. Oh wait, hang on. For some reason we've only got... Have we only got enough space to deploy shrapnel around there? Do we not have any elsewhere? Well, that's not good. Well, I guess we're going to have to just try for this then and see what we can do.
Let's shorten the list. Meditating.
I mean, that's the best shot we've got. So deal with that, and we'll just move to hold that objective.
What is this armor made of?
We can't flame it in range of that, so we might as well flame it over here. Again, we're very much trapped here. I guess we're going to heal over this side. We can't even get in range of anything. The only thing I can really do is just take these objectives and contest them all. And then this is all just a mess that I can't actually deal with. So we're going to contest all the objectives at least so we don't lose immediately. But the moment they kill Shrapnel, which they, I believe, can do this turn quite easily, then we've lost the game from there. Because Shrapnel's only got 7 health, Extilior can get in range. If we use Tlali here to give pummel to Extilior, that's 2, 4, 6 immediately. And if... Actually, Tlali can't get in range. So they can just, in theory, kill Axel Pyro if this can get in melee range. I'm still not sure why that was 100% accuracy previously, unless Majan's field has changed. Because, I mean, if that has changed, then fair enough, but if it hasn't changed, then I'm not really sure what's going on there. I do find it very funny, we can't even move to revive Toltecan, but we're just going to go for damage instead. Yeah, see, why is this 100%? I'm so confused. I don't understand why. We're right in the middle of the obscuring field. Either way, I really do love the instant activations. And one thing you'll notice as well is how quick the games are. We're 9 minutes into this game and it's pretty much over already. So, have they got a follow on here? We're down to 1. The funny thing about this is that, given that we're not 100% dead, you know, if we got some sort of lucky situation, there would be a world in which we could potentially get out of this, but I think that's very unlikely. I don't think I put things in the list that even do what we need here. However, maybe Flurry is a way to go out in style.
Don't start with me.
It's interesting because the deployment zone seems very small. So what I want to do is go about here and see if I can deploy Flurry. Yeah, I mean, not being able to deploy... Oh, it's because they block it, don't they? Of course. So, I mean, this is committing honourable Sudoku here, as we call it. We're going to attack this, get attacked back, and have a bit of fun, but we'll just Axel Pyro first so we can get a little bit of dramatic effect into this for the sake of it. I don't think there's really anything else to be done other than have fun and let ourselves go out in style. And... oh, does Flurry... I was going to say, if Flurry only hit crew, that would have been a really good accidental misplay out of that. That was really fun. I enjoyed that. I definitely am way out of my depth with how this stands at the moment, but we've got a little way to go. I'm going to see if we can maybe get one more in there. I might not be able to, but if I can, hopefully we'll get one more video for it. In fact, I need to cancel this because I need to change my list. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a couple of things that we know are going to work well. So, we're going to go for a more aggressive list. We're going to take out Beatrice, we're going to take out Tozy. Flurry just seems... big base models seem really hard to play. And we're going to go all out aggressive. So, Snareling seemed really good. Antios seems very good in this format as well, if we can get in range. I like Broken Vengeance, and I really want to put in Drum Dancer Tali as well. So, this makes it a lot more of an aggressive early roster if we can play Blindside Resley in with a sort of... sorry, where she's gone? Drum Dancer Tali, there we go. That could be a really worthwhile play. So, hang on, did we actually just put Toxoid in at all? Did I forget? Do you know what? No, we're going no Toxoid. We're not playing Toxoid. We're not here for that. We're here to just... we know in this format Toxoid is powerful, but it's very much sort of a one and done activation. So you play the unit, you take something down to 1, you fight again. So you lose it on the backswing, and then you lose your momentum from there. Whereas this is much more of a we're going to try and kill things through damage and just have that additional damage on the battlefield. So hopefully we can find one more game, and I'll see you when we get there. Okay, we have found ourselves in one more game. Oh no. So we've gone from Grissy to playing Flayra, Charlie Cleveland, the man himself. If you were one of the viewers that joined us from Bricky's video, this is Mr. Moon. So this is the big boss, basically. So let's see what we can do here. I haven't done much with this list, I'll be honest, and I'm still trying to figure out if Majan has actually changed, if low visibility is different. I wonder if there's any low visibility fields on this map. There's not, are there? There's no smoke, no. Okay, so we're just gonna... let's send Zuna this way. Toltacan this way. Give him a little bit of Healy. And for our first play, Snareling doesn't snare unit, so let's just go with Fixer for now. We'll take a shot. Because we can. We missed it anyway. And we'll move back here and call Favour to infuse... let's infuse Toltacan. Get more Cinder for following turns. It is funny that we missed that shot. So, let's see what Charlie's going to represent. What Charlie's going to throw at us. Given that we've got Antios and Snareling, this could be a really aggressive start from us. If he deploys something further forward, I'm going to probably try and see what I can take out. Okay, so it's Maximus, so that can just be anything. We can just hide over here probably. Yeah, that's a pretty safe bet. So what do we have? Deadeye and Broken Vengeance as follow-ups. So, is there an angle? There's no real angle that way, but we can get over here to get Fixer a shot. So we'll take that immediately, because why not? Toltecan will come over here to make sure we're getting something here.
Say what you mean.
I'm not really sure if what we feel like we need to do with Zula. Can we get a good Deadeye shot somewhere onto Maximus from over there? Probably not. So I'm going to put Deadeye here. The intention of seeing if we can move on to Maximus, and if not, we're going to move up to getting 60%, Ozos ourselves, and just shoot their captain. And we're going to move forward and just see if we can deploy Majan over here and defend a little bit. We can't quite reach Fixer to Dardo, so we'll just have to call that turn there. See if this works any better. So we've got a 1 point advantage at the moment. Yeah, so this low visibility reducing accuracy is fine, but it doesn't seem to do anything for melee units at the moment, so I really do need to get used to that as an idea. They can run in fairly aggressively, but I think we're trying to just get the points game. So if they shoot Fixer here, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Charlie play another range unit and try and finish off Fixer. If Charlie doesn't, we're going to put Dardo on it and try and heal Fixer up for next turn, but I'd be surprised to not see another range unit come down, or at least move up, deploy something and try and get an angle over there. I'm not really sure how this is best to approach. So our follow-ons here, we've got actually a lot of Cinder. Yes, there's Broken Vengeance. There we go. I think we all knew that was probably coming. So the question is, we're going to 3, so there's a good chance we might be able to get a little bit up close and personal and send Axel Pyro down here to do some damage, maybe alongside Deadeye as well, or we could just start turning on the captain and seeing what we can do from there. So we're going to have 4 Cinder. So how do we want to go about that? What's good about this as well, by the way, is that because we've got increased accuracy and they don't, we can potentially use Deadeye to shoot Broken Vengeance and have Broken Vengeance miss the attack back. This, however, is very interesting. Them having gone straight onto me, is there a point where I can be on this objective and shoot Extilio? There is. So maybe we get aggressive. So say we move over here, try and block Extilio's movement as much as possible, and just go for an attack. We're fine with this taking us down, it doesn't really matter. If we assign Dardo here, it takes sort of the full turn cycle to respawn anyway. We can just Ozos ourselves to spend 2. We could redeploy Majan and just play Esli out and go for a fairly aggressive attack, but Esli dies very quickly. So what if we did just Axel Pyro and just get the burn going? I think that might be a good call.
Where do you want the fire?
So we're going to just set the fire, so we're going over there. Burn that point.
Woman's best friend.
And honestly, just
Always
they
complications.
can't get through. We've spent all our resources. Maybe just move slightly further back just in case. Just play it safe. This seems good to me. So they've got 1 which takes it back to neutral, but we've now put a lot of damage onto their captain. So Charlie could. Oh, we've got the little outline here, which I know has been mentioned before. They could play Stitchy here and start healing up. If they do, that's going to have to be a really early target for us. It's going to be hard for them to get visibility onto Axel Pyro where he is, so it could be that this is hard to deal with, but we don't really know what could be following. If Charlie went really aggressively, maybe could just take out a couple of units here, like move in, spin, hit one, shoot the other, get lucky on a shot over here, or deploy something else to do damage. We could lose all of this turn fairly easily. So we need to figure out what we're doing from here. To be honest, it might just be Antios and Tali and go for a really big hit next turn. And just try and take as much of a chunk out of Extilio as possible. Yeah, so there's that. I wouldn't be surprised to see this hit this. I'm starting to think the low visibility doesn't affect melee anymore. And if that's the case, that's a really big difference. Yeah, that's fine. We're still inconvenienced. 39%, so there's a reasonably good chance they hit this. If they don't, we're in a great spot. Does the movement refresh? Is that it? Oh, it refreshed. There we go, yeah, we can see that there. 2 39% shots is fairly reasonable, I suppose. Kind of have to give them that. Don't put it on Extilio. Okay. I think we're going for... I mean, this goes up to 5. but we can just save that for next turn if we can get Tlali in as well. So, where are our deployment zones? Antios. So it's just going to be right around us. So if we need to basically get over to here, deploy Antios. Oh no. Okay, I do think one thing I'm going to suggest is that in future we need to have the deployment circles more neatly annotated, basically. Because that is, like, we couldn't see where they were going to be when we went there. So just like accuracy, I think that's something that's almost necessary for that point in the game. So we're just going to have to take the best shot we can here. Yeah, deal 0. The fact that we can't deploy Antios in a good position kind of changes everything that we want to do here. So it's going to be Broken Vengeance and Snarling, I think. Broken Vengeance here, and we'll just take that shot. Snarling probably just wants to hit Maximus and just deal with that slightly, and then hide back here. Still gives them an option. Antios will probably want to do next turn. We'll deploy Majan over all of this, and Dardo here. Who knows? Yeah, this is quite awkward. So we're winning on damage. That's the thing. Like we've got a game plan, but if Charlie has something like Tona Mystic Manteo or Stitchy McPatchy, we could be in a difficult spot. Although it is going to be hard for him to get away from us. I do really want the ability to have deployment zones shown as you hover over your unit as to where you're going to move, because if we'd have known where our deployment zone was and we couldn't fit Antios in here, we could have moved slightly back and we could have actually done 10 damage this turn to Extilior. So having that information available I think is key. Moonbreaker does a great job of being visibly accessible most of the time, and so having that be the case would be great. Yeah, so I've not seen a single melee attack miss since this has come in, so I do think it is the case that, you know, there is that extra... the basically low visibility doesn't affect melee anymore. Okay, yeah, this is fine. So if Charlie's just going for damage and leaves this alone, in theory we should be able to win from here if they don't heal. Okay, so Nekahor, yeah, can return things to the bridge, but I think we should be good. All we need to do is just make space and not mess it up. Ooh, I've got 3 more leadership. Crankbait. Okay. So we'll see what we can do. Again, making sure we get this deployment done properly is a big deal. So we'll take this shot first. In fact, we can be fine, can't we? Because so yeah. So we'll not range. We'll Ozos here. Just to make sure this hits. We'll then move away. Move Zuna back to, say, here. We're then going to deploy... we can do Blindside Resley or Antios, but we can't do both and Tlali. So if we do Antios here, and then we do Drum Dancer Tlali just back here. Oh, hang on. We needed that Cinder. Oh dear. I messed up again. Okay. So how do we do this? I think we're still just pushing damage in.
The rival captain's health is low.
Ooh. Oh dear.
Unit has already moved.
That was a very awful sound that came up there.
Smooth.
Eyes open, tails behaving.
Any chance of hitting here? 20. I guess we just take pot shots now.
Gotta want it.
Oh, we're at maximum units deployed, so I guess we just pop Dardo down here. It doesn't really matter, it just means they have to kill us. This is all a mess, because if they can kill enough of our units, they actually win here. Yeah, I just wasted wasted some Cinder for no reason and just gave away lethal, which is probably not the way you're supposed to play this. I'll go for 0 for 2 versus the devs, but they did make the game. I'll give them that. They've done all right. That's so funny. We're not out of this yet, by the way. Like, they do need to be able to still kill 3 units now to essentially get this. So they can kill here quite easily. We've got multiple ways of doing so, and it's whether they can kill enough of the rest of it. That miss is quite nice. So this, accuracy field does look like it is ranged based still, which is great for us. This won't have a reduction there. And they're going to move back. The question is, do they try to move block? Because if they don't try and move block, we could still have this. Especially if Sevria can't get in range. So I think that's... Oh, okay, they're going for the runaway. Crankbait defensively, interesting. So we're now in a position where we're not doing well in terms of points. We're very far behind, but we do still hold this. But potentially now we just look at trying to do what we can to finish off things here. So we know we could deal with Sevria. We can take her back with Broken Vengeance if we need to, which will work out nicely. So how do we go about trying to do as much as possible? So we can deploy Esley, we know that much, but it's not going to be an easy one.
Adrenaline roars.
So if we go... Is this Tipu? It is Tipu. So if we pop here first, see if we can get Deadeye in to just... In fact, let's not take any risks here. We're going to Ozos here and just shoot Tipu. Battle Frenzy ourselves here.
Show them your moves.
Snarling. Oh no. Oh no, I forgot it had a shield. 50-50? Okay, we made the 50-50. Tipu dies. That's okay. We can live through that. Broken Vengeance comes here and kills Sevria. So this puts us back in the running again. Speaking of which, we probably just Dardo there as well.
Take care of the crew.
Can we can't get onto that point easily, so we've got... I think we just go down here
Let's make friends.
and just start trying to... Oh, that's awful. Let's just poke things. We're gonna play aggressively and poke things. I don't know how we're gonna deal with this. We've got more crew on the battlefield. We can't contest this middle point very easily. We've left Tlali open, but honestly... Oh, hang on. Was Toltecan not in range? Oh, I thought I'd moved into Toltecan range. Oh dear. Yeah, this is not going well at all. This is actually a much longer game as well, but it's a really interesting one. You can see how there's so many mechanics you have to relearn and sort of figure out again. And obviously, not only is Charlie part of the dev team, as part of the team, but also they've been playing this for a couple of hours, and this is my second game. You've seen both of mine, and it's been a long time since I played the experimental server. It's been a few weeks, so maybe even that was a mistake. This is fine here. Broken Vengeance finishes this off, that's fine. We don't actually have that much AoE here, which is an interesting one. Ooh, okay. So what's the aim here? Is this? I was going to say, this has got to be some sort of AoE attack. That explosion isn't in range, is it? I was going to say. Let's not be. And then... Okay, that miss and explodes. About as good as we could hope. We actually are in with a shot here. That might be what we need to potentially turn this around. Because if we can chip 1 damage off of this first, we might be able to... Okay, yeah. Redeploying that seems great. That's a good choice. I wonder if it gets to activate again. So we score 1 point here. And so we need... If we could kill 4 units. So I feel confident we can kill 2. I don't feel confident we can kill 4. This whole mess is funny.
Heard every excuse.
So if we... What if we were to shrapnel... This is such an awkward choice. So, what's shrapnel's hit shots like at the moment? So this is almost guaranteed just to kill our
Be fierce and fun.
unit. So, let's battle frenzy ourselves and just kill this. Then we can bring shrapnel down and just start contesting some of this. We don't mind Broken Vengeance shooting back a little bit, it's fine. We are actually just locked out of this, which is really awkward. Broken Vengeance. I think we actually have to start just shifting at Extilior at the same time. Who can we deploy? We can't deploy anyone, of course. So we're going to pop over here, Dardo over here.
Always complications.
We'll shift Majan into in front of everyone. Who's got range attacks left? So we'll take this. And take that as well, why not? No one can do anything except move a bit. This is all fine.
You
So
have a
this is
1
neutral.
victory point lead.
I think we might be in a good spot. They're not out of the game. Charlie's not out at all. But I think we're at the point where we can start applying more pressure and trying to kill their units to try and basically win via the little tug of war system down here, or by killing the captain. We've got multiple routes to that victory, whereas with them only having... Basically, they've got 9 leaderships. There's loads they can deploy and do, but only having 2 out on the battlefield already makes it a little bit awkward, but there are things that could work here, like a Florio could annihilate a lot of my units here. I do like the little Dazed disco dance as well. I do think the deployment could do with a bit of clarifying, and you know, the sizes of base you get and where you can fit them feels a bit awkward sometimes. Okay, so they've got Noxie there, which is a very powerful unit, but without something else triggering it, doesn't necessarily do too much. So it could be that we're just going on the rush down plan now, or even just trying to shrapnel everything. Yeah, if we shrapnel enough units this turn, we just win. If we can get shrapnel to... What's your movement like? Okay, well, Toltecan's alive this time, so at least we can move down here and chain with Broken Vengeance a little, if we need to. But I think we're probably just trying to kill Extilior as and when we can.
Your turn. You have a 2
Can we
victory
get
point
angles
lead.
anywhere? So I'm actually fine with just losing this here, because this could end up being the victory condition. So we need to get movement out of the way. In fact,
Focus on the wind.
we can just do this. And just end Broken Vengeance a bit easier. Oh, does he attack in between each trigger rapid fire? Okay. So we need to move back slightly here. That's fine. We just hide out the way. We're going to go for... Oh, we can get onto Extilior. Okay, that's what we want. This is going to bring out a Toxoid, which you don't like, but it will help. Can we get Deadeye at somewhere with an angle? No. So Deadeye just takes... Okay, first of all we just move Majan in that case. Majan just goes over here.
Hey, I built you.
Deadeye can
Time
just
to spare.
Moses yourself to take out a bit of damage here, I think. Push a little bit more onto Extilior himself. And we'll just get the best angle. Taking Broken Vengeance out. We missed. We didn't assign Dardo there, but
Opponent's turn. You have a 1
I
victory
don't
point
feel
lead.
too bad. Again, we could lose this easily to a bunch of big AoEs. So I actually feel like having something like a Flurry here would be really powerful. Being able to just chip away at Extilior as a sort of an alternate win con is nice, because we know that we're not dying through health. So figuring out how we go about this and how we win is interesting, because now that they've got an extra Toxoid, in theory, that means that we could potentially pick up more damage and more sort of more bounty tokens. And if they move off of this, we gain 2 at the start of our turn, so we only need to kill 2 units. If they can kill this, that does mitigate that slightly, especially if Noxie comes onto the point. Okay, that miss is huge for us. Like, maybe there's a argument to leaving the shield, but I think that might actually be the game in our favour. Oh no, they could move... What was this? Oh, that is Toxoid, yeah. So Toxoid can move over and reduce something, but we can take a bit of damage back as well.
Always much to consider.
Yeah, I think we might have this.
Use this wisely.
Okay, Extilior's going to run away, so we are on the full-on AoE the enemy units down plan, I think. So the main things that we want to do is try and get to multiple of them at once and try and deal
Your
with
turn.
as
You
much
have a
as
2
possible.
victory point lead.
So if we stand something like here, there we go. This looks like a pretty good shot to me. I mean, honestly, we could have just gone for this anyway, but I was trying to be cheeky.
They're always surprised.
Let's go for this.
You're close to a victory.
Oh, there we go. That was a hell of a
One
finish.
step closer.
That was a really good finish. Oh, Charlie, thank you so much for that game. I loved it. I'm really glad I've got something fun to put forward, and we can see, where the beginnings of the system come in. So, again, we'll see more of this in the future as it gets more developed. Like I said, these icons need a high resolution version. This one's much nicer. So I'm going to be curious as to what those resources are for, if they're for unlocks, maybe the perk system that's talked about recently, and you can see all the XP coming in here as well. So there you have it. For a lot of you, this will be your first look at the experimental server and seeing some of the things for the future of Moonbreaker. Honestly, it's a really, really fun version of the game. Oh, thank you, Antios profile picture that I can't use in the real version of the game. Because anything in this version doesn't carry over to the live version. This is just to trial things out. But honestly, I've had a whole bunch of fun with this. I hope you guys have too. And if you've got any questions, pop them in the comments. If there's anything you're particularly looking forward to seeing, let me know. I'd love to hear your opinions on it. But for now, thank you so much for watching. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, Patreon, all those things. I nearly forgot to say that. Can't forget the little call to action, otherwise the channel's never going to get to as many subs as I'd like it to. But most importantly, thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.